Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters, your Magic the Gathering source that helps you command your budget. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support. Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So a new week has begun, and last week, like many of the previous weeks, we got even more potential Kamigawa spoilers with a Ganjo Seat of the Empire in a Ganjo Uprising, and this week, well, it seems is not going to be much different. Because already at the very beginning of this week, we've got even more potential spoilers. I mean, I don't know what in the world is going on with this spoiler season. Again, actual spoiler season, like I've said many times before, does not start until January 27th, and yet we just keep getting more and more miscellaneous pictures on the internet of cards. What in the world is happening this season versus previous ones where it seemed like things were pretty, secretive until actual spoiler season began? Regardless, again, a quick disclaimer, these are potential spoilers, they have not been confirmed, so take everything with a grain of salt. That being said, these potential spoilers are really cool. So first up, I'm just going to show you the actual image that was posted on the internet, and then I'm going to show you my MTG.design custom card version of it because, well, it's just easier to discuss when you don't see like a grainy photo on the internet. Again, I just keep saying this during spoilers, or, the potential spoilers. I don't understand how, better quality pictures can't be taken, but okay, I shouldn't be complaining. Anyways, Light-Paws Emperor's Voice is a very exciting and unique mono-white commander. And yeah, I don't say that very often because typically mono-white commanders, well, wizards, it's usually a swing and a miss. But this one, hear me out. Light-Paws Emperor's Voice is a 2/2 Fox Advisor for 1 and a white. Whenever an aura enters the battlefield under your control, if you cast it, you may search your library for an aura card with mana value less than or equal to that aura and with a different name than each aura you control. Put that card on the battlefield attached to Light-Paws Emperor's Voice. So that's an incredibly powerful effect. Just by casting an aura, you tutor up a slightly cheaper or equal to mana value aura into play. Now, auras have been long considered to be somewhat inefficient in Commander, let's just say, or in Magic in general, because, well, if you attach auras to a creature and that creature gets dealt with, well, it's kind of like a 2-for or 3-for-1, essentially. Essentially, you can end up investing a lot of resources into something, and your opponent can just deal with it with a singular card. That's a pretty bad trade-off, but this is just straight-up card advantage every single time you cast an aura. So first up, that can help mitigate the risk by giving you extra card advantage, and it can also get you the right pieces to actually protect your commander. So yeah, although again, mono-white commanders don't tend to be very popular, a couple do pop, and I can definitely see this commander, again, if it is actually legitimately an actual card from the new and upcoming set, I can see this one being quite popular. It's low to the ground, provides a ton of value, and it's a very unique design. And if this is an actual commander from the upcoming set, well, what kinds of cards might you want to consider for a build around Light-Paws? The first cards that came to my mind were cards like Flickering Ward, Conviction, and Shackles. Flickering Ward is an incredible card in a lot of enchantment-based decks, and yeah, it's no exception for this one. It's an aura that costs a white, and it says, whenever you play Flickering Ward, choose a color, enchanted creature gains protection from the chosen color, and by paying a white, you bounce it back to its owner's hand. And then Conviction costs 1 and a white, gives enchanted creature +1/+3, and again, the exact same thing, pay a white, bounce it back to its owner's hand. And you're gonna, get tired of me saying this, but Shackles, very similar, pay a white, bounce it back to its owner's hand, except this one costs 2 and a white, and it says enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untapped step. Regardless, the fact that these auras can very easily be bounced back to your hand is absolutely incredible for a deck like this. Again, this commander tutors you up any aura in your deck essentially that has the exact same mana cost or less than the aura that you're casting, again as long as you're casting it. So, you just cast one of these, you go tutor for an aura with equal or lesser mana value, get it directly into play, attach to your commander, bounce this back to your hand, recast it, get another one, etc, etc, etc. I mean, Flickering Ward itself is basically, hey, pay white, tutor for any aura in your deck that has CMC 1 or less, probably 1 again when it comes to auras, put it right into play attached to your commander. That's it. And you can keep doing this over and over and over again. So, okay, this card has already spiked in price a decent amount since I first started playing Commander when it was very, very cheap, and I think actually it was in my original SRAM deck a long time ago, and I think this card's around $7 or so now, and yeah, I can see this card's price spiking with this Commander showing up now. That being said, Conviction and Shackles are still somewhat budget-friendly. Regardless, if you've got Flickering Ward in your deck, that's definitely going to be the first thing you tutor up with this Commander the vast majority of the time. Because, yeah, there are plenty of incredibly powerful 1-mana auras out there that you can tutor for, like, you know, Shield of Duty and Reason, Mask of Law and Grace, and Hyena Umbra. Just to name a few. Shield of Duty and Reason gives enchanted creature protection from green and blue, Mask of Law and Grace gives protection from black and red, and Hyena Umbra gives +1/+1, First Strike, and Totem Armor. So with Totem Armor, essentially if enchanted creature would be destroyed, instead remove all damage from it and destroy this aura. Basically, yeah, just go tutor up some things to actually protect your commander and make it into an unstoppable force, so you can just keep tutoring for more and more things. And of course, you can also take advantage of some things that reduce the cost of your auras like Transcendent Envoy, Hero of Iroas, and Danth the Capuchin Paragon. Each do different things, but the main thing that they do is that they say aura spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So again, with one of these out, again, your Conviction is just going to cost 1 mana, and you can just keep doing that exact same thing like Flickering Ward, where it just costs basically white to go tutor out any aura in your deck that costs 2 or less. And if you've got 2 of these in play, the same can be said for Shackles, which again costs 3 or less. You can see how this can get out of control very quickly, again, when it comes to tutoring out the exact pieces that you want and being able to get some fantastic pieces that work very well with this commander. You can also dig incredibly quickly through your deck with things like Shram Senior Edificer, Chorus Spirit Dancer, and Mesa Enchantress. Each of these essentially say, whenever you cast an aura spell, draw a card. So again, on top of tutoring, you know, whenever you're casting your auras, you also dig through your deck even faster. And they say mono white doesn't have ways to draw. Okay, for the most part that is true, but in this specific circumstance, you can draw a ton of cards with these. And of course, you could go Voltron with this kind of a commander, but you could also, you know, just include something like Sigil of the Empty Throne in your deck that says whenever you cast an enchantment spell, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. So create an army of unstoppable angels in absolutely no time, dominate your opponents, and take over the game. But outside of Light-Paws, there were some other exciting spoilers, so let's move on to those really quick. Moving on, though, we've got Kami of Transience. And, yeah, really quick, let's move on to the custom card version of this, just for ease of use. Kami of Transience is a 2/2 spirit with trample that costs 1 and a green. It has, whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a +1 counter on Kami of Transience, and at the beginning of each end step, if an enchantment was put into your graveyard from the battlefield this turn, you may return Kami of Transience from your graveyard to your hand. So this is a, well, okay, it doesn't start off as a heavy hitter, but it is a low-to-the-ground creature, a 2/2 with trample, that can become a heavy hitter in no time in the right deck, and even when it's dealt with, well, you can easily get it back. In an Enchantress-style deck, again, you're going to be casting a lot of enchantments, so this thing can easily grow very quickly. And if it dies, you know, via board wipe or, you know, just a target removal spell that's not exile or, you know, sacrifice effect, whatever it is, you're going to be able to get it back right when one of your enchantments hits your graveyard. And, you know, there are actually decks out there that are fine with their enchantments going away and coming back, etc, etc, etc. So yeah, I can see this being an include for the right Enchantress-style decks out there that wouldn't mind having an extra heavy hitter that is really hard to get rid of permanently. Also, that art is pretty sick. But one final card that we got a potential spoiler of today was Mukotai Soulripper, and again, here we go with the MTG.design custom card. It's a 4/3 artifact vehicle that costs 1 and a black, and it says, whenever it attacks, you may sacrifice another artifact or creature. If you do, put a +1 counter on Mukotai Soulripper, and it gains menace until end of turn, and it's got a crew cost of 2. So again, if this is a legitimate spoiler from the upcoming Kamigawa set, this is basically confirmation, which again, many people have assumed, including myself, that we are going to be getting vehicles in this upcoming set, which is really exciting. And from the looks of it, again, this thing is, called a Soulripper, we're going to be getting some very unique looking vehicles too. Regardless, yeah, this thing is a very low to the ground threat. I think it's going to be a lot better, obviously, in limited and other formats. In a format like Commander, yeah, could definitely find a spot in a Vehicle Matters deck. Being an efficient and effective sacrifice outlet in a way, on top of being something that can get through in certain situations, yeah, not a bad card at all. Regardless, that's all I have for you today, or at least I should say, for now, because you never know, again, with this spoiler season, what in the world is going to happen, because as I've said before, spoiler season is officially supposed to start, I believe, on January 27th, and it is nowhere near January 27th yet. I mean, it's getting there, but we're not quite there. You know what I mean. We keep getting miscellaneous potential spoilers, so we'll see. Regardless, again, disclaimer, please take everything I've said today with a grain of salt because these potential spoilers have not been confirmed. Though, knowing what we know about this set so far and seeing the other cards that we've seen so far, these seem to be pretty legitimate. And with that, this show is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts on this episode are, and as always, thanks again and have a good one.